By Powerade. Pause for power with Powerade. Minute Maid. Real like you're at home. And Dasani. Connect mind and body.
Time to talk basketball on the SportsMax zone. It was manic Monday in the NBA yesterday with all 30 teams in action. The Lakers were second from bottom in the Western Conference going into their clash with high-flying Utah Jazz. We have those highlights.
The Los Angeles Lakers in Utah taking on the Jazz without LeBron James in the lineup. That means Anthony Davis must do a lot, and Anthony Davis can do a lot, especially that. Spinning and jamming, he had 29 points on the game. Lakers up by 2. Russell Westbrook right down the lane for the jam. Then Westbrook pulling up for the 3. He had 22 points and 5 assists in the game. Lakers still up by 2. Talen Horton-Tucker, the former Laker, kicks it over to Jordan Clarkson, the former Laker, and he knocks down the three-pointer and one. He'd make the free throw. Then Clarkson makes the 3 at the buzzer to end the first quarter. He had 22 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists on the game. Westbrook and Davis combining again in the second quarter, and Davis gets the jam. It's a 2-point game. End of the half, Lakers turn it over. Mike Conley pushes it up to Lowry Markkanen for the tough layup and one. He'd make the free throw. Utah up by 5 at the break, third quarter. It's Markkanen taking it all the way for the layup. He had 23 points on the game. Then Mike Conley to Talen Horton-Tucker for the slam over Damian Jones plus the foul. Watch it again. He'd missed the free throw. Later, Jordan Clarkson kicking it over to Rudy Gay for the corner 3 at the buzzer to end the third, and Utah just cruises, crushing the Lakers. Your final score, 139-116.
LeBron smiling at the end, but only because he's a polite guy. There was nothing to smile about from a Lakers perspective on Monday. Their coach, head coach Darvin Ham, told a press conference that a turnaround in form is coming.
This man, and write it, quote it, however, this may be happening now at the outset of what we're trying to force to be a culture change in terms of getting us back to being highly competitive on a highly consistent basis. But it's not going to always be like this. We're going to turn the corner. I didn't come here to lose. They didn't bring me here to lose. But there is a process involved where we have to go through tough times.
All right, no surprise. It happens in every sport. Big franchise, floundering. The Lakers are struggling mightily in the NBA. And the question, can they effect the turnaround that their coach seems optimistic that is around the corner?
The truth is, with the names on paper, you'd be, swayed to say yes, because LeBron James is somebody who has, he's a legend. Right? So with his name on paper, you'd be, sort of foolish to bet against him. Then, of course, Anthony Davis has shown us during the pandemic, when they were playing in a bubble, that he was a beast of a kind, of course, putting up these numbers and, locked in and, of course, getting his team across the line. Russell Westbrook, where he's concerned, and I'm only pointing out the big 3 because that's what, whenever we discuss, apart from the bench, you love to focus on the big 3. Russell Westbrook, some days he's hot, some days he tends to be cold. This season, he's been having some good days. So, that's something to celebrate. Darvin Ham as well at the helm as coach. We always talk about this in sports, having a coach that can manage certain personalities. And of course, Darvin Ham, based on his background and whatnot, I don't think that he can manage the personalities, and worse yet, the scores that we've been seeing.
Well, I can't share the coach's optimism. Let me start there. And part of the reason why I can't is because the Lakers have spent the early part of this season and the entire 2021-22 season trying to sort themselves out. And it's not getting sorted, so it just looks to me to be beyond this roster at the moment. And they are depending on the great LeBron James, who turns 38 years old in December. And as Alistair mentioned yesterday, and I agree with him, that LeBron isn't the player that he was 4 or 5 years ago. So if he is the player that the Lakers are depending on to to be their trump card, the player that will engineer their recovery, I think that's a shady hope, because as great as he is, age takes its toll on everyone. And I think the Lakers are in trouble.
Fact is that when I pose a question to Alistair about LeBron, and if it was prime LeBron with this team, if it would make a difference, and he agreed, and he broke it down along the lines that you just supported, it served up a very stark reality that this team does not have a youngster on whose coattails the team can ride, or a veteran still in his prime. And so I go from one extreme. So I look at a Ja Morant at the Grizzlies. I look at
Giannis
at Antetokounmpo, at the Bucks. And when I go for the veteran now, I go for, well, Giannis is not a young player like Ja, but the point is taken, yeah? I look at Steph Curry, who is still in his prime. LeBron's prime has passed. LeBron James is like the typical product life cycle 4 phase that they teach you about at the tertiary level: introduction, maturity, introduction, growth, maturity, and then decline. LeBron James is in the maturity phase, and the only place after that is decline, because you can't leave from maturity and go back to growth and then go back to introduction.
The decline hasn't started yet? Because Alistair's reading of the situation is that he has entered the decline phase.
No, so here, all right. So I use the 4 phase in the product lifestyle. So here's why I'm using that. When you introduce a product to market, people are just now learning about it, learning about what it does, if it does what it says on the tins, and you can say try it. So people are willing to try it. When it starts growing is when everybody is buying it up and can't get enough of it, and you are having to increase manufacturing capacity to give people more of it. Yeah. When it has matured is when you don't need as much production capacity as you did to produce it, because it's not selling to that level, but it's still selling. It's still recognizable. People still say, yeah, it's a good product. Have you bought it recently? No, but it's a good product. So yeah. Decline is when nobody wants it on the shelf, you don't see it. So that's why he's in the maturity phase, which marketing teaches you that the maturity phase for your product to be in is the worst phase, because it can only go down from there. That's where LeBron is. No, it is not LeBron only, but I have to blame him for a lot of the Lakers' problems, not just with his own play. The players he has in the team are the players he wanted. Yeah? So he helped construct a team that has no perimeter shooters, that has difficulty and inconsistency getting to the rim to score, because Russell Westbrook has his struggles sometimes. AD's body doesn't allow him to get to the rim as often in a game as you do want your dominant player to do. And the rest of the team are made up of dribs and drabs, scraps and bits and pieces, bits and bobs. It's a team LeBron built the way he wanted it. And that team, this team, is not good enough. And I'm sharing I'm associating myself with what Lance said. And with Mariah said, I ain't seen no optimism around the corner.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Where's the corner?
Yeah, defending champions Golden State Warriors, meanwhile, are on a 5-game losing streak, heading into the battle with Sacramento Kings. And we have those highlights.
It's Northern California battle as the champs take on the Kings. There's a look at Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, reminding folks to vote tomorrow. Get on out to the polls. We start you off with the first. Steph Curry goes backdoor for the left. Then Steph Curry knocks down a step-back 3. And this is a theme alert. Steph Curry was warm to flaming hot in this one. Just an unreal performance. De'Aaron Fox to Malik Monk for the 3. Boy, that's a nice performance right there. Then Fox hits the pull-up jumper, and you see the score. Sacramento taking control of this game at Golden State. Domantas Sabonis battling Draymond Green inside, misses the layup. Just too big for Draymond down there. Puts that one back in, 42-36. Meanwhile, Steph is happy. Step back 3. Then De'Aaron Fox misses a 3. Steph grabs the rebound, outlets ahead to Andrew Wiggins, and the All-Star lays that one in. He had 25 points and 10 rebounds. Sabonis now to Kevin Huerter for the transition 3. At the half, it's 67-55. Sacramento up by a dozen on the road in the champs' house. De'Aaron Fox, baseline, reverse layup. He had 28 points. Sacramento still up by 9 in the 4th. Steph to Klay. Boy, you've heard that before. Klay, 16 points on the game. Sacramento's lead down to 3. Now Steph, 3. A foul was called, but it would be overturned, but the three does go down. Then Steph Curry drives and banks in the jumper to tie it with less than 2 minutes to go. How many times have you seen it? Then Steph Curry, with his squad tied, less than 90 seconds to go, the deep three, you know it's going down. It's Steph Curry, a season high, 47 points, 17 of 24 from the field, 8 assists, 8 rebounds. There's Draymond Green with the fake handoff and the two-handed stuff. Golden State up by 3. 1.3 seconds left. Sacramento last chance. Kevin Huerter misses from 3. Wanted a call, didn't get it. Golden State gets a win. They wanted that real bad. Final score, 116 to 113.
Yeah, it's really a fool's errand to, in context, it's a fool's errand to criticize teams this early in the season, but the Lakers have been so bad that it's fair to criticize them for what they've shown. But 5 consecutive losses going into this game against the Kings, do you get the sense that the Warriors may struggle for some reason this regular season?
Warriors? Only if something is wrong with Steph. And I'm saying that because...
But with him, they lost 5 straight, so...
I know, but he has a way. Okay, that's just one team, so that's why I'm not too worried about them. Let's just see. Maybe the Sacramento Kings are their boogie team. So whenever they go up against them, things not working out for them. But they have all the teams to face, and they've been very, very dominant.
No, but I'm saying, but remember, they beat the Kings last night, so they took care of that boogie. But heading in, they lost the 5. They lost the 5 games before the Sacramento win last night. So I'm saying. If there is reason to worry about, to look at the roster again, and in the same way the Lakers are poised to make big changes personnel-wise at the next available opportunity, the next trade window,
well,
if the Warriors will have surgery needs as well.
I'm not thinking so, and I'll start with where you started, that it's early in the season and it usually is not wise to make profound statements about what a season will be in the first few weeks of a season. And I think the Golden State Warriors have displayed the ability to change gears. And I think, when the time is right, they will begin to step up. And as you pointed out just now, I don't see that with the Lakers. The Lakers have been trying to change gears now for 2 seasons.
Gears.
Well, they have no gears. Okay, well, the Lakers have no gears, so they can't change them. But I think that the Warriors can change gears, and with Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, I just think the 5 matches in a row that they lost was just a blip for them.
Charles Barkley said something the other day that infuriated Klay Thompson. He said, Klay is not the player he was before
the injury.
And I agree with him. You don't. At his best, Klay Thompson is going to be skittish. If he gets off, he makes Curry look as if he can't shoot. If he gets off, but those days are rarer and rarer in this period, and you have to wonder if we've seen the best of the man with the dad from the Bahamas, Michael Thompson. You have to wonder if Klay Thompson is, getting ordinary, but time will tell. Well, these are the results from the NBA on Monday. We told you 30 games, so everybody played. The Wizards beat the Hornets. Rockets beat the Magic. Pistons, too good for the Thunder. Pacers beat Pelicans. 76ers, Joel Embiid had a big game there. They beat the Suns. The Hawks took down the Bucks. Giannis and company losing for the first time this season. Trailblazers beat the Heat. The Bulls beat the Raptors. Celtics beat the Grizzlies. Knicks, they beat the Timberwolves. The Nuggets from Denver, too strong for the Spurs. The Mavs, better than the Nets. Kevin Durant missed a crucial free throw late in that game. So they are 2-2 since Kyrie Irving was suspended, the Nets. The Warriors confirming their win over the Kings. The Jazz beat the Lakers. And one of the hot teams in the NBA season, nobody would have thought that the Cavaliers would have started as strongly as they have. But they ran up into Paul George and company last night. They lost to the Clippers.
Yeah, can I just put in one for the old stagers, George?
Of course.
Because Luka Doncic last night scored 36 points.
Not an old stager. 21 years old.
No.
Yeah.
I'm going.
You're getting there.
I'm going somewhere with this. And he became only the second player in NBA history to score 30 points for as many as 9 straight games at the beginning of a season. He joins Wilt Chamberlain, who in 1962-63 had 23 games consecutively with 30 points or more at the beginning of the season. And, in this era, people like Wilt Chamberlain quite often get glossed over. And I just wanted to put in one for the old stager.
And I'll say the reason he gets glossed over is that was before the 24-second shot clock.
Well,
but points are points. Points are points. Points are points. As we leave the segment, it's funny to talk about Wilt Chamberlain and what he did.
Yes.
One of the greatest players never to play in the NBA, Pee Wee Kirkland, is famous for, he had all the talent in the world. I think he was drafted by the Bulls and he went to training but didn't go because he was in the drug game. When he went to prison, playing against players who had experienced basketballers and so forth, who said, you've come in here with such a good reputation, let me see what you have. And there was a game, he scored 100. And the big players at that time told you that that man's talent, they say he was the greatest talent never to play in the NBA. So points are points. People say, but 100 in that time, but 100 in any time is 100.
That's right.
Yeah, we take a break. A break at any time is a break.
This segment was brought to you by Powerade. Pause for power with Powerade. Minute Maid. Real like you're at home. And Dasani. Connect mind and body.